Happy Black Friday. Man, it's here. And I'm going to tell you all about my Black Friday sale. But before I do that, let me just first of all tell you there's a link below in the description. And the doors have, let's see, that for those of you who are early bird registrants, you can get in right now. And everybody else can get in beginning in 30 minutes at 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. But link below in the description. You can get all the information there. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. My name's Bill Deweese. Welcome to the daily live stream. I'm a professional voiceover talent. In case you've never met me before, I've been doing this full time for 18 years. I'm a coach and a voiceover demo producer. My latest voiceover book is Get Paid Using Your Voice, Get Found, Get Heard, Get Hired. There's a link below to this in the description as well. So, did you have a good Thanksgiving? At least for all my American friends, and hopefully, even if you don't live in the U.S., you had a great day yesterday. I mean, we're big on our holidays around here, and the vast majority of my immediate family lives here in town, and so there were a bunch of us, about a dozen of us, give or take, at our house yesterday, which was nice. All of my very immediate family, except for my older son, who lives about 5.5 hours away, and we hope to see him at Christmas time. But did the customary turkey. We also did a honey baked ham. Delish. My daughter-in-law made mac and cheese muffins. That was the first for me. That's something to check out. Mac and cheese muffins. We had, let's see, Vicky made corn casserole and her amazing mashed potatoes. She makes some amazing mashed potatoes. The table was just full. Had all kinds of stuff, and then we had a pumpkin cheesecake and pumpkin pie and chocolate chip cupcake, some brownies, and Vicky's homemade whipped cream. Yeah, it was a pretty amazing day yesterday, and again, hope it was a great one. Hope it was a great one for you. Well, welcome to Black Friday. At least here in the U.S., it's Black Friday. And as I learned from you guys not long ago, black meaning this is a chance for retailers to go from the red into the black by selling a bunch of stuff. And hasn't Black Friday changed over the past decade? I remember not all that terribly long ago that my wife Vicky on Thanksgiving afternoon or evening after the big dinner would pick up a local newspaper, would pull out all the ads because they would just be stuffed with ads. And if her brother was visiting, her brother's very much the same way. They're kind of cut from the same cloth. They would spread out all the ads across the living room floor. And I've never seen a person who is more adept at sniffing out a deal and loves doing it more than my wife Vicky. And she would go through all that stuff, and then they'd cut out all her coupons, or figure out where the sales were at, and then would chart out a plan for the following day, and then would be up on Black Friday morning at like 4 or 4:30 in the morning to do her thing. I say, God bless her. That's great. I served my time doing early mornings back in my radio days. So I would just sleep in, but she and her brother would just go bananas on Black Friday. And she was telling me yesterday she misses it. Okay. So speaking of Black Friday, so what does it mean in terms for voiceover talent? Well, my biggest sale of the year happens this time every year. And so the idea is this. And first of all, let me back up a little bit. And you say, well, wait a minute, you already have a YouTube channel. Yeah, my YouTube channel is not my training. My YouTube channel, I mean, you get a taste of it. I share tips, tricks, and strategies, things to help you out and point you in the right direction. My training it's a deep dive into the topics that I address briefly here on the channel. And so I've put together a couple of packages there. One is a basic package, so it's kind of like the fundamentals, the core things. And then there's a premium package, which is a bunch more at that and a whole bunch more added in, but at a very drastically reduced price. And so I want to encourage you that, again, the link is below in the description. Go check it out because that sale is on. And I want you to make sure you take advantage of what's there for you. This is the kind of stuff, understanding, again, I've been doing this for a long time and I still do it at a high level today. I'm not somebody who used to do it and then couldn't make money doing it anymore because I couldn't keep up with what was going on. And then I had to coach for a living. I record voiceovers for a living. That's what I do. And I want to make sure that you have access to the latest information to help you be successful in voiceovers. So Again, there's a link below in the description, so go check that out and see what's happening. Hey, take just a second, if you don't mind, to check in on the live stream this morning, on the live chat. Let me know where you're watching and listening from this morning. Let's do some shout outs and see what's happening. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I've left out of my spiel this morning. And Chris, if there is, put it in the live chat, and I'll make sure that I address it as I see your comments. Chris is the behind the scenes guy that puts all this stuff together, makes all the magic happen, has a tech skill set that is so far beyond what my puny brain can even begin to fathom. It's amazing. John, what's going on? Happy Friday to you in Denver. Terry, happy Black Friday from Falston, Maryland. Chris checking in from Battleground, Washington. And Joe, what's going on in the UK? Hope you're having a great day. Jim says happy Friday from Grable, Indiana. It's Don from South Africa. Hope everyone's well. Okay, here's a question from Don. Don says, for those who can do multiple accents, should I treat each accent as its own gig on Fiverr, or do a compilation in one gig? Don, I would highly recommend you do individual gigs, because here, I always think from a marketing perspective, how would a client, perceive this? So if I'm looking for an accent and I see something and all I know is that you do accents, that means now, okay, I don't know which ones you do or don't. I don't know if you do the one that I need. Am I going to take the time to listen to your stuff to try to find it? Probably not. So I would create an individual gig for each accent, and I think you'll have much better success that way. Good question. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Whatever color you choose it to be for you today in Montreal. Hey, Mark, good to see you. Ron, what's going on in Grand Haven, Michigan? Chris says, I recently started voiceover and have already landed my first job doing the voiceover for a YouTube channel. Well, first of all, Chris, here's the sweet sound of voiceover success for you. It's the bell of voiceover success. Don't you love it? I have a question about not doing jobs that go against my morals. Well, Chris, the great thing about voiceover is that you're self-employed. So if it's something, whatever it is, and for whatever reason, if you wouldn't do it in your regular life, you don't have to do it in your voiceover life either. That's the great thing. So anything you don't want to do, you just politely say, no, thank you. And you can move on. John, what's going on in Rhinebeck, New York? Ethan, happy Black Friday to you in Toronto. Brian, good morning from Nippy, Lancaster, Ohio, the land of my birth. I'm saying the land of my birth. Brian said, and by the way, Brian, I saw one of my friends in Lancaster posted yesterday. They did an annual Thanksgiving morning climb to the top of Mount Pleasant. I have a lot of great memories of Rising Park and Mount Pleasant, which, mount, I mean, it's not a mountain. It's a big hill. I mean, it verges on mountain. Pretty cool. He says, what's the best web builder site tailor-made for VO artists? Thanks. Well, I'm not aware of a place where it's tailor-made for voiceover talent to make their own websites, but I can tell you I have a partnership with the gentleman, Jeff, who does my website. He's like the only guy I trust to create my websites, and he builds websites for voiceover talent. And if you go to here's the URL, it's vowebsites.com. And if you go there, that's specifically designated for my students. And what you'll see when you open up that website, the first thing you see is you've got your Deweese discount. So he gives a discount to any of my students that go to vowebsites.com. And again, he's been doing my website for years. He's the only guy I trust to do it. Ron, what's going on in Charleston, South Carolina? Monty in South Carolina. Good morning, Bill, from Stephen in Houston. Question. I need a new quiet computer for my voiceover recording. What computers are you recommending these days? Well, let me tell you what I'm using, and it really depends on whether you want your computer to be in the space with you or if you're willing to create some sort of space and sound blocking between you and your computer. So in other words, I used to operate with my computer out on my desk outside of my booth, and then it was a Mac, it was an iMac, and it was one of the older ones, the Intel-based iMacs, and it had a fan, and when it would get warm up, the fan would kick on, so I couldn't have it in my studio. So it'd be out there, and then I would run cables in here, and I have another monitor and all that stuff. What I'm using these days, and you can decide whether it works best for you or not. A couple of years ago, I bought the AirBook, Mac AirBook, and I'm now a Mac. I was Windows for years, but now I use Mac. It's just I find it just gets along with hardware better. The audio is no different, and just use whatever works best for you. And I'm sure there are Windows machines that do the same thing now. But the unique thing about this is the M2 MacBook Air, and it's actually what I'm using right. It's right in front of me. It's the small one. It's the 13.5-inch one. It's sitting in front of me. I'm using the camera on the MacBook, and this is what I use. I do everything on this. Adobe Audition is on here, Source Connect. I mean, everything, all my scripts. I do everything off this one 13.5-inch screen, if you can imagine that. And it works just fine. You kind of get used to moving things around because it is limited real estate. But the selling point for me, two things. Number one, no fan. No fan. And I'm sure this was the first, I think, of its kind that Mac came out with, and I'm sure there's a number of them that don't have fans anymore. Solid state drive's not enough. You need one without a fan as well, if you're going to have it in the studio with you. And so that's why I chose this. Second reason is I can easily, I just unplug my peripherals, which is essentially a USB hub and my audio interface. I unplug it and I can take this with me anywhere, and it's all there. It's there, all my stuff, all my recording stuff. So it makes it really easy to work with. So that's what I personally use. David, what's going on in Hamilton, Ontario? Chris says subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you. Suzette, hello from cold, snowy Calgary. We're getting some snow here this morning. Suzette here in the Chicago area. Colin, good morning to you in Houston. Kirk in Greenville, South Carolina. Misha, how's it going in South Carolina? We've got so many people from South Carolina, guys. One of my favorite. If I could choose any state to move to today, I would be torn between Ohio, which is my home state, and South Carolina. I love South Carolina. I've mentioned before we had a place down there for a while, and I love South Carolina. I love that it's not too far south. Wouldn't want to go as far south as Florida, where it's like unbearably humid in the summer. But South Carolina, stays mild in the winter and hot enough for my liking in the summer. And what was the other reason? There was another reason. Oh, I know what it is. The people are so friendly. I mean, Southern hospitality, that's a thing. That's a real thing. Indianapolis, where Tom's at, checking in. Hey, Tom, thanks for being here this morning. Phil in Tokyo. Becky, happy snowy Friday to you from the Michigan. Now to find that shovel. Speaking of the Michigan, or the mitten, or Michigan, versus this is Ohio. The big rivalry tomorrow, the game, perhaps the biggest rivalry in all of sports tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Phil in Tokyo, I think I already said hi to you, but I'm going to say hi to you again. Juan, good morning. How do we get in? I don't see an email. The website is the same. Okay, well, unless you were pre-registered as an early bird, that website opens in 15 minutes. You know what I'll do? I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll put the early bird registration link in the website as soon as I finish up this video in just a couple of minutes. And if you go in and register and get in before 9 o'clock, it lets you in before everybody else. And the reason that that's such a great thing is because the first 300 people who buy today will also receive, I've got a bonus training I'm giving you for free. Okay. It's gonna be a live bonus training. So, that's the deal with that. And so in just a second, when we wrap that up, I'm going to put that link in there. So if you want to go pre-register just to make sure you get in a little bit early, you can do that as well. Mac and cheese muffin sounds good. It was good. Good stuff. Yeah, my daughter-in-law's brought her a Thanksgiving game yesterday. I love it. My demos are getting old, so I've been thinking about updating or completely doing new ones. Well, when you guys are ready to do demos, I am a demo producer. You can always reach out to me, training@BillDeWeese.com. If your demos aren't doing it for you anymore, they don't reflect your current skill set or outdated, just, again, reach out to training@BillDeWeese.com. I can get you all that information. Sandra, what's going on in Dallas-Fort Worth? Daisha in Buffalo, New York. Great Friday from Yolanda in Vegas. Carlos says, hey, folks, happy Friday from Las Vegas. Join the Blueprint if you're not a member yet. And DeCarlos, thank you Dennis DeCarlos. Thank you for mentioning that. I appreciate that. The Blueprint is my comprehensive coaching, training, mentoring, teaching, ongoing live stuff every day. That's the stuff right there. If you're serious about voiceover and you want to study voiceover and you want to make it a career, the voiceover blueprint. And there's information below in the description of this video for that as well. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, where am I at? Where did I leave off? It's Kit from Gunnison, Colorado. Doug in Greensboro, North Carolina. I have to move my studio. Singers are asking for recording time in it. Have you ever had others to ask? Yeah, I've had people ask. I don't rent my studio out because I need it. I mean, I'm busy all the time in here. Good morning to Rusty in the Upper Peninsula. It's kind of up here of the mitten. Celeste, as you may recall, just had knee replacement surgery the other day, still in the hospital, but going home today. So sorry you had to be there for Thanksgiving. Hopefully they gave you turkey, Celeste. And thanks for checking in today. But yeah, glad to know you're doing well. I had no doubt. I could tell you're a tough cookie. Way to go. Love that. Alex says, hey, Bill, from Quebec City here. Do you still do audiobooks? I'm just starting out in English. I do some work in French, working to perfect my American accent. Thanks. I'm not doing audiobooks these days myself. A lot of my students do, only because I stay so busy with corporate and commercial work. But audiobooks, that's, it's a great way to start. It's a great option if you want to make that your full-time career as well. And I've got students who that's their path. I have recorded a lot though over the years. Hey, Spencer. Yeah, I've got pictures for my students in the blueprint. I give them pictures of all my stuff. And someday, what I need to do someday is I need to do a tour here of I'm in a 3.5 by 5 foot booth. I mean, there's virtually nothing to see here. Hold on, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's see. Let me make a little room here. I'm going to take a picture. Let's see if this will work. And then I'm going to show you. Hold on. There it is. That's what I'm looking at right now. That's it. Hope you enjoy the tour of my studio. Pretty simple, huh? Hey, Jolie. Andy says, you've given up because of AI. Oh, that's a lame. I'm sorry. That is a lame excuse because AI has not taken over voiceover. You might have reasons, or maybe you don't want to, or whatever but AI is not keeping anybody from building a career in voiceover. Hey, Riley, what's going on? Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. No discount on the website. Early bird coupon not working. Huh. No discount on the website. Early bird coupon not working. No, you're not going to get a discount on the website. The Black Friday, the Black Friday sale is the Black Friday sale. The coupon that you got, the early coupon for becoming an early bird, that was good through last night. That was a 35% off for what's in the store. That deal is over. Now we're on to the Black Friday sale, and that's going on right now. Alex in Utah, have a great weekend. Hope you have plenty of turkey leftovers. Oh my goodness, yeah, we do. Thank you. Alexis, do you have any voice care tips on recording from sickness, sick loss? If you're sick, you probably need to rest your voice. No, I don't have anything specific. Sometimes what I find is that what I think when I don't feel so well, I still record typically, unless I just physically can't do it. And I'll send a sample to my clients and say, hey, this is what I sound like today. Do you still want me to record? And almost always they say yes. So that's something you can do. Send it out to your clients to make sure they're okay with how you sound. Colin says we have to get those likes up. Hey, Juan, Chris, who have I not said hi to? Rebecca loved the tour of my studio. Rebecca's been in the studio. She's recorded in the studio before. Some of the students who came to my event this summer, we did a one-day workshop here. So yeah, and that's the second time you've had the tour. Takes all of about 3 seconds. Tanya in South Philly, Alex, good morning. Dave in New York City, what's going on? Spencer, Patrick, Andy, Alex, Wally, I think I got everybody. Kevin, yes, there we go. Hey, thanks for being here. Have a great Black Friday. We'll catch you guys first thing next week. Take care.